It's not what Robbie Stewart and Rodney Tolhausen are making for dinner that's noteworthy, it's where they're making it. Just behind the house they used to live in. This is a laneway house, about 640 square feet plus garage. Small, yes, but apparently a perfect fit.
Well, there's only the two of us and the dog, and it's enough space for us for sure. You do get more effective with things. Like, we have a tendency to handle a piece of paper once. Scan it if you need to save it, and then it goes. That kind of lifestyle appeals to me as well, as opposed to having hordes and hordes and hordes of stuff.
The home is cleverly compact. Every square foot is in use.
We decided we would store some of it underneath here.
One of the cool features, of course, is the
TV set.
Kind of an illustration of this house to me. For high-tech toys and basic necessities.
We decided we would need a secondary bathroom. I love the fact that I could create this space on my own property. That, to me, overall, I've created an ultra-modern sort of accommodation that I'm happy to live in, that I would have moved to anyway, but I didn't have to move.
These little houses are popping up throughout Vancouver. The city just issued its 500th permit. On average, the units cost about $250,000 to $350,000 to build. The idea is to encourage property owners to create new homes for renters or family members.
But always what we have.
But this is more than just a creative way to use urban backyards. For some, it's a mission.
That's the one thing that really helps the spaces seem large, is to have height.
Just listen to Jake Fry, whose company has built more than 24 houses and is waiting to start 18 more.
I'd like to see this a better use of land, not in the sense of, 5 stories of people in little, closet-like apartments, but rather people being able to have that single-family residence environment. They can walk out onto grass, that they have a small garden, that they have some sense of urban congestion that isn't claustrophobic.
Fry says many of the people moving into his homes are young couples, happy to be able to stay in the city.
There's also a bit of a mind shift as well. Someone has to look at going, well, I like the idea of being small, lean, having more money to travel, having more money where I'm not have an impulse to collect more and more things. It's a different way of living for sure.
It's a good chance to also get rid of things that you don't need.
Tanya Clark and her husband will soon be moving here, out back of her parents' house in one of the city's most exclusive areas.
Not everyone has the luxury of staying in their neighborhood that they grew up in, especially in one like Dunbar, but yeah, we were able to do it.
Well, they're worse than I thought they were going to be.
Jonathan Baker lives in Dunbar too, and he is no fan of laneway housing. The former city councillor says not in his backyard, and he hopes not next door either. Among his concerns, that a laneway house would block the sunlight and take away some of his privacy.
I look at the rate at which they're going up, and I look at some places where they're 5 or 6 in a row, and it's ruined the neighborhood, and the neighbors are not happy about it.
Robbie Stewart says it comes down to your vision of what a neighborhood should be. He feels he's made his better by turning his old house into 2 rental suites.
You can, start tearing everything down and build much bigger places. You can start building condominiums everywhere if you want. But I think that that's not the neighborhood that people are trying to preserve. And for me, this does preserve the neighborhood in a way, maybe not the way that everyone wants, but it does in a way. And it provides, in this case, we have 3 separate accommodations on the property.
A few hundred homes, a few hundred square feet each. A small step in addressing Vancouver's big challenge to find more affordable housing. Ian Hannamansing, CBC News, Vancouver.